Banja ndikoipa. Ine nateka nyamara bana pesa mimba ineyo. Nabila kubanja kuja. Nyamara sama gona chimda kwa ini sama lo wako. Amagona baba. Banja akuti ineyo. Alinda mkwana. Akala one ena asot. Ineyo basi. Ndalo sama mfashion muja. Ndeno ineyo nakala pe kulingali. Mimba yanga ikukua ndipasa transport nditira skela kuti uyisova. Mafuta ngosamba basi abona sondaka linenda kufuza ngali. Ndiroge shabini. Ndeno nazosuti babula timabunga iti ajineti. Awuri obula chinashanda ukuchanchani asika najaso kunibela ineyo ta ndivaye kumwe kondana ndibeza kuti ndikusinya sobano. Nsika na kuti alibabanja kuti aziyandika kuti aziphikira kuti akosani muka sibweni chanchani zwaka kachitema nukati waka kuti libe kumamba. Ndivyo ndeno ineyo anandika ndiri kusinja. Natenga baja kwa pasa mpando chanchana nga takwela pano muna kuti iwe mwana umuntu.
This girl from Nkhatabay is probably the major highlight of the 2017 Girls National Conference, which has been organized by a consortium of several non-government organizations, which include YouthNet and Counseling Ioneko, Girls Empowerment Network, Save the Children, and Simavi. She attracts the attention of everyone in the jam-packed theater, where girls from all over Malawi have gathered to share their experiences. At a tender age of 14, this girl was impregnated by a man and was forced into an early marriage. She says her husband abused her in the marriage, never supported the development of the pregnancy, never was given food, until she met peers who were working with an NGO, Girls Empowerment Network. They encouraged her to withdraw from her abusive marriage. After she gave birth, this girl who dropped out of school in primary school is now in secondary school. She has become an anti-early marriage activist who is encouraging other girls not to rush into marriages. Statistics indicate that the practice of early marriages in Southern African country of Malawi is widespread. About 50% of girls marry before reaching the age of 18. This issue is of concern to the government of Malawi, non-government organizations, and development partners who have joined hands to end child marriages. This is why the Minister of Gender, Children, Disability and Social Welfare, Dr. Jean Kaliran, humbly accepts invitation to be the guest of honor at the 2017 National Girls Conference. This is to show government's commitment to end child marriages.
We have opened this 2017 Annual Girls Conference at Crossroads today with girls from Nkhatabay, Mangochi and Mchinji. They look to be awake and understanding what is going on. You remember there was the meeting we went to in March where we were talking about girls, especially child marriages. And we need to go deeper to find out why, what causes this. Because now Parliament defined at 100% voting that a child is anybody, a girl or boy, who has not reached the age of 18. So when we talk of child marriages, it's anybody who is married before the age of 18. Now, this conference is discussing these issues. There are some who have been taken out of marriage, and there are some who are learning how not to get there. And by so doing, they're getting experiences from the ones who had been there and they saw the problems and they came back. The message is only one, and that is if you are a girl or a boy in Malawi and you are aged less than 18 years old, this is your time for going to school, nothing else. At home, make sure you eat good food so that you remain healthy to attend school. Everybody in Malawi must attend school. So what they do this time is, education is key to life. And if they listen, they follow and do education, this will help them a lot in their lifetime.
The Executive Director for Girls Empowerment Malawi, Faith Piri, says time has come for people to join hands to end child marriages, which she describes as human rights abuse.
Child marriage is still a problem in Malawi. Despite that, we have new laws, very good piece of legislation and policies in place. But then the problem is that a lot of people are not yet aware and they do not yet recognize child marriage as something that is negative, as something that is a violation of children's rights. That's where we're getting to. We need everyone in our society to know and recognize child marriage as child abuse. All the children in marriage, they are actually not marriages, but rather they are suffering from child abuse.
2018, as one of the stakeholders, one of the players in that sector, what have you lined up maybe as far as acceleration of efforts towards ending child marriages are concerned?
Yeah, one of the things that we have lined up is to continue building girls as leaders. We know that by making girls leaders of their life, they'll be able to say no to child marriage. But also we want a lot of people, including the girls, the chiefs, a common man in the village, to know that there's this law, and if they see somebody violating this law, they have to take action. Put that person, report that case to police, and let justice prevail. So we want to do a lot of sensitization at all levels, amongst girls themselves, at community, the traditional leaders, and even at district level.
Kasuzi Mbaluku is the country alliance coordinator who graced the 2017 Girls Conference in Malawi's capital, Lilongwe.
The challenges that they meet, the things that cause them to get into early marriages, and also the solutions that they can have to ensure that those child marriages are ended in the communities where they are coming from.
What are some of the challenges these girls have been facing?
One of them is poverty. Most of the girls, they cite poverty as the cause of them getting to early marriages. So the program, the Marriage No Child's Play, which is the name of this program, has a livelihoods component, which aims at ensuring that their economic lives are improved. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you might wish to
The other issues are the child protection issues, using traditional leaders, religious leaders, as an agency of ensuring that no child marriages are happening in the different communities in the country.
Okay. Do you think MTB is having an impact in the areas that you are implementing the project?
Yes, it is having an impact. Apart from getting marriage, girls out of child marriages, we are also empowering the girls with the sexual rights, sexual reproductive health and rights. So we are working hand in hand with the Ministry of Gender, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, so that these services are made accessible to the girls.
The Executive Director of YouthNet and Counseling Yoneko, Nkhatabay, says child marriages in Malawi stem from cultural beliefs, but this is an evil thing happening to the girl child in Malawi and must stop now.
Let me start with the importance of the conference. You know, girls living in Mangochi, in Mchinji, and girls living in Nkhatabay, girls living in Mchinji, what they see is what they are seeing in those villages. They have got no opportunity to engage with role models. They have got no opportunity to see that there is life after the fish in Mchinji. So one of the critical things is to try and motivate the girls to begin to look at life outside their communities and be able to develop and be ambitious. So it's one way of motivating them to create their ambitions. Secondly, it is important because these girls are going to share a lot of experiences. Coming together, learning from each other, it is an opportunity for them to also understand that the problem is not only theirs, there is a problem somewhere else, but then they can also be able to deal with it. Thirdly, it is an issue of them interacting and interfacing with role models. You will note that this morning we just had the minister. Bringing in the minister was being a woman herself. The question that you are asking is, how did she manage to come to where she is? She's also a woman. She has been a girl, and there are also a number of role models that they're interacting with from various organizations as they are here. So we think that this will also help them when they go back as peer leaders in their communities. They should be able to motivate the girls even more and start looking at life from that perspective, that they can be able to do something and share their experiences with other girls in the villages.
Other activities at the 2017 Girls Conference include a panel discussion which has one clear message: no to child marriages, and promote girls' access to sexual reproductive health rights.